Janet's parents aspired to more than their working-class roots, and when she was 14, her dad was finally able to buy a house in suburban Perivale, a 1-hour underground ride from Fulham. But it was a move that Janet hugely resented.
Were you conscious of the difference between Fulham and suburbia when you were 14?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. God's sake. Fulham is where I grew up, where I had all my friends in the street and you played outside your house, and suddenly they decide to sell the house and move out to fucking dreary Perivale in a semi-D in the middle of fucking nowhere, and I've got to spend an hour each way on the tube. Yeah. I couldn't forgive them for that.
Right. Did you tell them at the time?
Yeah.
Or
I just could barely talk about it.
Isn't that one of the crosses that children have to bear, that their parents decide what they're going to do? Every day you're just issued with a bulletin. And it was the same, for, you know, we were told we're going to move to Perivale. We weren't consulted. No. Just latest troop movement.
Yeah.
By the way, next week we're moving to Perivale. Well, thanks a fucking bunch. Thanks for asking me. I'm 14 and I know that loads of people watching this programme would have had exactly the same thing because parents are selfish.
Not all of them.
Well, they are, because when you move, you're not moving to make your children's life better. You're moving because you want to live in the countryside, or you want to live in suburbia, or you want a bigger garden. You're not moving so your kid's going to make the opportunity to make loads of new friends at school. Oh, well, that's really fucking great.
Yeah. Janet's telling us that she's got no similarities whatsoever with her parents. Well, they were driven enough to move from Fulham to Perivale to aspire to a better, more middle-class life, for want of a better term. Janet aspires to a different type of life. She took herself from Perivale to the life we see today. That's one hell of a jump. So there are similarities. You can't totally dismiss her parents as non-contributors to her makeup.
From an early age, Janet wanted to rise above the environment she grew up in, and success in her career has allowed her to do just that. By contrast, her sister Patricia still lives in Perivale. She has a grown-up son, has been married for more than 35 years, and has chosen a very different line of work to Janet.
Customers are really nice if you come down a while. It's not like buying a packet of sausages or anything like that. It's like you're buying this because it's a pleasure, isn't it?
$3.99.
Yeah, which is quite a...
Very nice.
Oh, well, there you go, one happy customer. And it's 4 o'clock, my going home time.
Janet and Patricia didn't always see eye to eye as children, but as adults they've become close, even though they now move in very different worlds. Their differences may have much more to do with their parents than Janet would like to admit.
Patricia and Janet are two people who have shared the same parents, the same households, the same, by and large, early life experiences. Yet they're very, very different. Now, what's that about? They do not have the same genetic makeup. They're not identical twins. At the earliest stages of life, that might become apparent in terms of their temperament. Parents then react towards them, and then the child develops a sense of themselves as a consequence of that. Now, these two children may have grown up experiencing their parents differently. Their parents may have treated them in more subtle ways differently that gave rise to differences between them.
Janet has returned to Perivale to see her sister. She's asked Patricia to join her on the journey back in time.
Hiya. Hi, Pat. Your hair looks nice.
Just over the roots.
All right. Yeah, fine.
Do you want a cup of tea or anything?
I would like a cup of tea, actually.
Do you want milk?
Got a lemon?
No.
No, God.
Oh, Janet, I've got nothing.
Do you want a cup of tea? Because this tea bag's only going to be...
No, suburbia this is. We don't have lemon and things like that here. What do you mean?
Right. I went through a long time thinking they picked up the wrong baby and I couldn't be related to you or to them.
And then I discovered...
Yeah,
I
you
was.
were quite convinced at one point, weren't you, that we couldn't possibly be because we had nothing in common.
That's right, and I thought that I belonged to nice middle-class people who lived out in Epsom or something.
That was your vision,
me.
yeah. Oh, it's a big mistake.
Yeah, and they'd come and collect me, but they didn't come. I think
Yeah.
it was very difficult for you to go to the same school as me, although, because comparisons would be made.
But you always were the one artistic, and me, I couldn't draw anything to save my life. And I don't think I was...
You passed your 11 plus.
Oh, yeah, but only because they said it was a mistake. I always remember that, because you were guaranteed you were going to pass. They'd always said that. When I did mine, Mum had already bought my school uniform for Hurlingham. Secondary school.
The dances school. And then you passed.
Yeah, I remember working and me going in and telling on the way home. And before I'd got it out of my mouth to say I passed, she said, "Oh, don't worry about it. We didn't expect you to pass." And I thought, hang on, I haven't told you yet. I did. And it was like, oh. They both, my parents, expected Janet to do much better. Whatever she did was never good enough. And I always managed to be quite lucky and skirt round that if I got anything in qualifications, that was fine. I think Janet had the much harder time. Looking back on it, maybe it was an injustice. If they'd actually pushed harder for me, I might have tried. If you're that age and somebody's not making you do the work, and I definitely would need somebody to make me do it, no, I'd get out of it if I could.
Janet and Patricia's old house in Perivale is just round the corner from where Patricia now lives, but neither of them have been back there since they left home. The local road names may have pleased their Welsh mother, but for them this wasn't a happy place, and it brings back some difficult memories.
I just think it's really quite depressing, actually, don't you? To come back here. I don't have any particular fond memories of living here.
I hated living here. I hated everything about it. I hate being here now. It's
It is actually...
a crap place.
yeah.
It's ugly as all hell. But what I can't understand is the house in Fulham, the rooms were much bigger. Even though we only had half a house in Fulham, all the rooms were bigger than all the rooms in that house.
Yeah.
So why did we come here?
Did they think we would get on if they put us so close together?
We did fight all the time, didn't we?
Yeah, but it was like... It was normal, though. Mum and Dad shouted at each other all the time, so, I mean...
They did shout a lot, didn't they?
And so...
They did shout at each other.
Yeah, they
didn't
did. There was never any... I don't remember somebody ever saying... Dad ever saying to Mum, "Please, would you do something?" It was like, as you say, orders. Like he spoke to us, so he spoke to her. So we've obviously assumed that it was quite OK to talk to each other like that.
Yeah, I think that's where we got our rudeness, general rudeness from, probably.
I mean, I got a lovely memory of you pushing me down the stairs, trying to kill me.
Oh, I thought I pushed you down the stairs in Fulham. Did I push you down the stairs here?
Yeah, you made a habit of it. The thing that was, I was so used to it that I actually learned how to roll. I thought, I'll watch the resting. And I got quite good at it, so it didn't hurt anymore. And that annoyed you even more then because you were doing it to hurt me.
Yeah, you annoyed me.
Yeah, I mean, you know...
You were annoying.
Well,
I was annoying.
I suppose it works both ways, doesn't it?